Welcome to Cedar Club, Quincy's favorite local bar. A friendly corner bar with a laid-back atmosphere and affordable drinks. It's the perfect spot for a great time. With entertainment galore, including shuffleboard, golden tee, pool, foosball, and winning gaming machines. Cedar Club's latest edition is the best spot to catch your favorite game. Great drinks, great friends, and great times. Cedar Club, 20th and Cedar in Quincy. Hey everybody, welcome to the Daily Muddy. I'm Ashley Conrad. Joining me today, Christy Woodward and Angie Peters with Blessing Health Systems. And now you are the Director of Volunteer Services, correct?
Correct.
And Angie, you are the coordinator for the Teresa Adams House. Okay, so welcome, first of all.
Thank you.
The Teresa Adams House, formerly known as the Hospitality House, correct?
Yes.
But the function of the home remains the same.
Yes.
Can you give me a little information about what that function is?
Yes. We provide affordable temporary lodging for anyone receiving health care in the Quincy area and their loved ones.
Okay.
They can stay with us.
Excellent. And it's at a pretty discounted price, right? Considering everything you get.
Yes.
Can you give me
$40 a night.
$40. I mean, that's you can't find that anywhere.
No.
Especially, I looked at the pictures of the home, and it's very, very nice.
Yes.
So can you give me an idea of what the stay consists of? What does it look like when you're staying there for
Sure. So each room has 2 queen beds,
Okay.
a private bath, a mini fridge. We also have a living area and a kitchen that they can use, snacks, coffee, those kinds of things included. We are also a lockdown facility, so a lot of our guests like that because they have to have a key to enter and exit.
Oh, safe and secure. Yeah, of
Yep.
course.
Sure.
And the home is primarily used when a caregiver or a loved one has someone being treated in Quincy. But being treated in Quincy, immediately you think Blessing Hospital because it is on the Blessing property, but that's not the case.
Nope.
It could be anywhere.
Okay.
Anyone seeking health care in Quincy.
Yeah.
So it could be Quincy Medical Group, it could be the Illinois Veterans Home, they may have someone living there, it could be a funeral that they're here attending. It really, accessing healthcare, it's a very broad, broad subject.
Which is, I mean, it's one of the things, one less thing to worry about when you have someone being cared for in one of our health facilities in Quincy. And of course, we have great ones. But when you have to travel, it can be a little hard, not only on the pocketbook, but also your mental health.
Absolutely.
Right? Yeah. So you have 8 rooms, is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. And what are the criteria for people who want to stay there? What does it look like?
Sure. So really all they have to do is call us and we can get them a room, or they can get online. A lot of times the nurses over at Blessing or whatever facility the guests are at, they will give them our number and they just call and give us their information.
Okay, and if there's availability, then they're welcome to stay. Is there a length of time that you put on that?
Not necessarily, as long as they
really
need it.
Okay.
We've had some guests stay with us for over a month
Oh,
who
really?
were accessing our BEST program at Blessing, which is our partial inpatient mental health program. And it's a wonderful program, and we love it when we can really help out those people as well.
Yeah, I mean, it sounds like it would be a huge help. And of course, it's all funded via donations. Is that correct? That's incredible.
All via our rent and donations, fundraisers that we hold throughout the year. That's really how we manage.
Yeah.
And Angie's our only paid staff person. I oversee the house, and so it's really a labor of love for so many of our volunteers. They've been with us since it was Quincy Hospitality House, and they have just stayed alongside us with this mission. And the capital campaign, when Teresa Adams House started the capital campaign back in 2021, we had no idea how wonderful this was going to turn out, how wonderful it was going to be.
Yeah.
We had an inkling, but it really has been a blessing.
Good.
No.
Blessing. No pun intended, right? No pun intended. But
No pun intended.
I mean, I can imagine, like I said, it's got to be just a huge weight lifted off of shoulders of loved ones who have to travel. So
that was our goal last year, was how can we reduce the stress that people find themselves under, and taking away lodging, taking away that where am I going to sleep tonight is huge.
Yeah.
And being able to talk to a friendly volunteer, talk to Angie, and just be at a very homey facility and across the street from the hospital.
Right.
The accessibility is amazing.
It's key for sure.
Really just down the street from the Veterans Home too. And we're pretty centrally located to everything.
Yeah. It's a great location, great property.
Yeah.
And there are common spaces too, because sometimes I can imagine that people going through kind of like situations, maybe it helps to have that community there.
Yes,
So,
very much so.
We had a situation where we had a family stay with us while their loved one was in the hospital, and then when they passed away, the whole family came back and used our house for the funeral. And they had a big funeral gathering there, and it just blessed us to be able to help them.
Well, how incredible.
That way, so,
Yes, I love it. So, but you mentioned fundraisers, and you have a big one coming up, which I think is, it's a unique fundraiser, but it fits perfectly with the season that we're going into, right? And that is a garden party. Tell me a little bit about that.
So it'll be June 5th at Freeze Nursery. It is appetizers and drinks, and we just have a fun time just getting together and celebrating the house and raising money for Teresa Adams House. Freeze Nursery has their entire greenhouse open, so you can walk the gardens and enjoy appetizers and drinks with your friends. Liz Bentley will be there to perform. So it's just a fun little summer kickoff to summer event, and we have a great time doing it.
And you can get your flowers too.
Yeah, absolutely.
There you go.
Yes.
And then all proceeds go back to benefit the Teresa Adams
Adams
House, which is it's extraordinary.
Yeah,
that you
and the
guys
cost
do
of the
this.
ticket for the garden party is the cost of one night stay. It's $40 ticket, and so really, we just wanted to tie that all in to the ticket price so that everyone understands what a value that is, but it's a huge blessing for us to receive that $40 to keep operations going.
Absolutely. So, where can people get tickets? How do they register? What's the process there?
They can get them from any of our board members. They can stop by the house, call the house.
They can buy them online from the Blessing Health System webpage.
We have a Facebook page as well, so if they search Teresa Adams House, contact us via that.
Okay, lots of ways. And the Teresa Adams House, more information can be found on that if you go to blessinghospital.org. There are a lot of resources in our community for people going through health struggles, but I think this one is key that maybe not everybody knows is a resource that's out there. So I hope people go online, learn a little bit more about it, but absolutely go to this garden party. It sounds like it's going to be a great event, and it's June 5th, right?
5th, yes.
Freeze Nursery.
Freeze Nursery.
Get your tickets today. It all goes back to a great cause, especially for our community, right?
Yep,
Appreciate
absolutely.
it, girls. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Absolutely. All right, coming up next, Britt B and Ash C and Coffee Talk. Stay tuned.
Instant Replay is your local sports bar. With 18 big screen TVs, we have all the sports packages from college games to pro games. We offer daily drink specials, and come check out the Bullpen, our newly renovated beer garden. Instant Replay, 2739 Chestnut in Quincy.
The Liquor Booth is your home for a huge selection of beer, wine, and spirits. The Liquor Booth has 2 locations in Quincy, 3520 Broadway and 1500 North 12th Street. The Liquor Booth, where it's always happy hour.
Welcome to the Abbey, a Quincy tradition. With 6 big screens, a new larger kitchen, and now more seating capacity, the Abbey is the place to be before, during, and after the big game. Come enjoy fan favorite appetizers, steaks, burgers, and a variety of daily food and drink specials. Can't join us? Carryout is available too. Now with a convenient drive-up window to better serve you. 1736 Spring in Quincy. Opens at 3 p.m. Tuesday through Sunday. Come join all your friends at the Abbey, a Quincy tradition.
The Tower, a great place to meet and eat. But did you know the Tower has one of the finest drink selections in our area? Along with its incredible Mexican menu, the Tower specializes in tequilas for every taste. Names like Patron, Cabo Wabo, and Hornitos. And don't forget the margaritas. On Mondays and Tuesdays, stop by and pick up a single topping pizza and get Tower margaritas to go. Enjoy the Tower at home or in our dining room, bar area, or the Tower's signature climate-controlled porch. The Tower Pizza and Mexican in Quincy.
Are you looking for the perfect venue for your next special event? Check out Utopia Event Center. Utopia has a large banquet room and an awesome bar area, perfect for anything from birthday parties to formal corporate meetings. It also offers a photo booth, stage for a DJ or a live band, and a fully stocked bar, all for only $300. Check us out at utopiaeventcenter.com or call Barn at 217-430-6559 for more information. Utopia Event Center, 900 North 12th Street in Quincy.
Welcome out to Kelly's on Broadway tonight. We're drinking cold beer and it feels so right. I'll meet you out on Broadway underneath Shamrock Light. We're gonna have a good time on the patio tonight. There's a party down at Kelly's on Broadway tonight. We're drinking cold beer on a champagne night. We're feeling all alone and you got no place to go. So come down here and drink a beer on Kelly's patio. Kelly's a fun place to eat and drink. 2902 Broadway.
And welcome back. Now it's time for Coffee Talk. And today we have a very special Coffee Talk. Of course, thanks to EFB, we get to spill the tea with our guest, Mackenzie Vallee. Welcome, Mackenzie. That was really good. I didn't even plan on the Mackenzie, but I'm glad you picked up on that. That was good. Anyway, so if anyone has been on social media recently, you've probably seen Mackenzie's posts, and I think a lot of people are sharing. There's been a lot of traction. And I'll let you tell me a little bit about what happened, but it's kind of what Brittany and I have been covering the last, month or 2 months maybe?
Yeah, we've been questioning whether or not our ordinance system is a complaint-driven system.
Yeah.
So we'll get to that in a minute, but first I want you to tell and share your story about what happened.
Yeah.
So I got a letter in the mail from the city of Quincy, and it said that my truck parked in my front yard was out of city ordinance. My truck parks in my front yard from April until October, and then the other months it's in storage.
Yep.
And it's been there for the last 4 years, 3-4 years. It's a monster truck, so it takes up a lot of room in my driveway, so I put it up front because it's right there next to school. All the kids like seeing it. I get videos multiple times a day of people calling it the monster truck in town and wanting to see it and stuff. And they ask their parents just to drive past the monster truck house. That's what we're known for. Is either the Bigfoot house or the monster truck house.
Yeah, I was going to say Bigfoot and monster truck. And it's kind of become like a little landmark. I know when I drive, I take that route often and I enjoy looking at it. I think it's cool. It's definitely not an eyesore in my opinion.
Right.
And it's your property, which I think is what a lot of people are, saying. But what ordinance did they say you were breaking? Did it say on that?
It was 169 or 162 is the number, but it was you're not allowed to park in your front yard basically.
Okay.
In front of your house, I guess.
Huh. Interesting. Yeah. Well, I know that there have been issues with people parking their boats in their yard in the past, and there have been complaints about people parking cars and boats and blah, 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 blah. But I wonder if this was complaint-driven?
This most likely had to have been complaint-driven. So I did make a phone call to Michael Seaver, who is the city code manager. He also holds a couple other titles. He's a very busy man.
Yeah, he's the enforcer.
Yes, and he wasn't quite sure completely about her actual case because, again, there are other city code officers, and a different officer was dealing with her case. He did say it is an ordinance. You can't park your car in the front yard of your private property. Now, this isn't any different from, Quincy isn't different. This is kind of like a standard ordinance where most cities kind of have that. Mostly, basically, I guess to prevent eyesores. I'm not saying your truck is an eyesore. It's a beauty.
Most definitely not. Yeah,
beauty. But what this ordinance is there for is to prevent, I guess, eyesores of the community. All ordinances generally are there for the greater good, or
the beautification of our city.
That and not necessarily beautification either, because there are ordinances from A to Z of all different kinds of subject matters. What I did learn from Michael is when you complain for an ordinance, you do have to give your name if it's inside or outside of plain view. So if I wanted to complain, about somebody having too many dogs in their house because it's loud or whatever, I would have to say, hey, this is Brittany Bull and I want you to check on this house. In Mackenzie's case, it's right in the front view. So whoever it is that made the complaint, I'm 99.9%.
I was waiting for you to put them all bust.
I'm 99.9% sure it was a complaint, is what I'm going to say.
Okay.
Because what Michael told me was, even though they did hire an officer recently, I think they said in 2018, to basically be the eyes outside of complaints, to look for different ordinance violations where it wouldn't be a complaint-driven system. That doesn't necessarily happen. So again, it's a yes and no answer to, is it complaint-driven? Yes and no. It's not intended to be, but for the most part it is. They have 1,000 calls a year, so you can do the math on that. They have to attend to these.
I don't math well.
I don't either. But a day, and also when that happens, it's human nature. I would think you get that letter in the mail. I'm gonna go look for all the other people that have their cars parked in the yard, and I'm gonna give you 10 more complaints
100%.
probably. But two rights don't make a wrong, and I hate saying that. Regardless,
Isn't that like 3 calls a day? Because I get like 90.
Same.
And I can get my job done.
And I do think there should always be like exemptions. You take this to, I guess, city council. I'm not sure who you take this to hear it, because ordinances are law.
Yes.
But I do think, in regards to the city,
so is zoning, and we go get amendments all the time.
Yes.
Is that what you were going to say? You go to the city and like ask them to amend
I
this
think
stuff?
that's what I'm going to ask. Like,
Yeah.
is that possible? I think maybe we can ask.
Or like where they sign
Yeah.
a petition, I guess is the right word.
We'll
Yeah.
hopefully get that answer from Michael Seaver next week. He's going to join us on Coffee Talk to give us a little clear, more run on what it is that ordinances are, how they come into effect. Can they be bent? I'm really hoping in Mackenzie's case.
What's the penalty for, let's say you leave your truck there?
I don't know.
I
read like the little like the warning part, and I was very angry and I ripped it up. So I don't know.
She
what
read and
the
then
rest
she was
of
seeing
it
red.
said.
And then you
Yes.
I get it.
I read it long enough to take a picture of it, and then I threw it away.
Okay. Well, I guess we'll have to see what amendments can be done. I think that maybe we can even put that in as a landmark. Get through it like that.
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah, because it is true that people like to drive by it. I don't think it's doing any harm. I mean, if it were blocking, views from traffic or became, some kind of a safety issue, one of the things I've seen in town that was there for far, far too long that had to have been, an ordinance violation. There was heavy machinery in the front yard at 18th and Adams for over a year, half into a house, half out of a house. Has got to be an issue. But it's like, how are these things established? How is it established that this is a violation? And then how are they enforced? And how are they prioritizing these? I cannot wait to talk to Michael about these things.
Complaint driven. I would think also, like in regards to what you just said, it's under construction. Like right now, the one that I see all the time on my walks, and I don't know why we're like completely turning a blind eye to it, is the construction that's happened in front of the old Tiramisu building.
Yeah.
That sidewalk has been blocked off for a year and a half with
far too long.
no construction, in sight really. So maybe people, when they see those things with their eyes, they're like, oh, well, it's under construction. So maybe if you just throw out some construction signs,
I could
some
do
cones,
that.
then it's under construction. Do you think this was complaint driven?
Oh yeah. We had a complaint about our Bigfoots in the yard.
Really?
I'm assuming my grandpa was able to talk to the city, and he was like, well, they're my yard decoration. If I have to remove mine, everyone else needs to remove their yard
100%.
Decorations.
I mean, there used to be yards around town that had the old lady bent over in the garden with her bloomers sticking out. Like, I would have more problem with that than,
Wait, take that back real quick. So you're saying that was against an ordinance too at one point in time?
I don't know exactly if it was an ordinance. He got a letter in the mail, so I'm assuming
it'll
so.
probably be an ordinance.
But they're yard decorations.
That's
His
why
kind
we're
of
not
yard
in,
decorations.
HOAs, because we don't want to deal with this kind of bullshit.
Exactly.
Yeah, he's not in an HOA either.
No, definitely. Is it 30th in Maine?
Mm-hmm.
So go by and check out the truck before.
While you can.
Yeah, while you can before she has to move it. But I think, we definitely just need some guidelines that are standard, right? Because you can't have
See, I don't know. We do. It's the ordinance. But I think sometimes the ordinance needs to be looked at like this.
No, I mean, like the process needs to be. So if you're going to standardize, so if she's going to get in trouble, then yes, we need to go around and make sure everybody else is following the same rules.
Yes.
You can't have like the squeaky wheel, because we've learned that squeaky wheels just get louder. And is that how we want to be prioritizing the issues that are, or non-issues that are facing Quincy? Also, these motorized bicycles.
Oh, that's a big one. What are your thoughts on that?
I mean,
This
they're not.
monster
They don't
truck
have
girl.
plates and they don't have insurance, and mine has both of those.
Yeah, right? So, and I believe that, I could have misread or not read completely enough, but, cars are supposed to have turn signals and not loud mufflers, and they should be able to, there are certain rules. A lot of these things are not being enforced. So yeah, I think we need to revisit why, how, and if we're getting 3 calls a day, what else are we doing that we can't?
I mean, I guess like each complaint is quite the process, but I would think after the first letter, it's just a letter the first time. It's a warning, it's a first letter. I mean, yes, you have to make reports, but like you said, yeah, I'm getting 20 calls a day and still social mediaing and writing, so I don't really get the extent of that. We'll have to figure that out as well. And yeah, is there a way to bend the rules? Some of these ordinances are out of hand. Did you know, like, one of them is you can't collect rainwater?
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Really?
I mean, it's crazy to me that you can't, your lawn, some people, I think the city ordinance might be 5 or 6 inches. I could be wrong. I think some people like to have lush, long lawns because it keeps away pests and things like that.
Or maybe, last year, right?
It's kind of crazy how they can dictate that too, which, while we're at it, I don't know how we can't see, if you are looking for things, how you can't see the front entrance of Quincy, Illinois, the median right there. Not only does it go against whatever, all the things that we talked about with the agreement, but it goes against just the lawn standards.
The lawn standard, if a lot of these ordinances are in place to beautify Quincy, to ensure that, we don't have a lot of eyesores or safety issues, then this is definitely one that goes against that.
Yeah.
So maybe we should be like the ordinance. We should just go around and make a list.
The more I'm thinking about this sounds like a great sponsorship that we can put on our page.
Yes.
Get that system going, and then we can,
But I don't want to be a squeaky wheel, but if we have ordinances being violated throughout the city and only one is being addressed because someone called to complain about it, if that's the system,
call me a snitch.
Well, I mean, I don't think that's the great system.
I don't either.
Especially when the city is paying enforcers to keep track of this stuff. And maybe they have other responsibilities, but I can't wait to talk to
It would be hard for me not to snitch after that, like after seeing red and stuff like that. That goes against everything I feel like you and I stand for sometimes, but like it would be really hard.
Look, there are times Luke kind of slacks off on the grass, and if they came by, like, I'd be like, are you kidding me? Because remember, we couldn't get the lawn mowed out there for so long, and I was like,
I know. And now
now
that we're doing this, they're going to be looking at our lawn. And Mackenzie, you better keep your lawn cut. She cuts her lawn too.
Yeah.
Because they'll probably be looking at that.
What if I park my riding mower out in my lawn? Does that count?
I don't know. Another one that she brought up was vehicles for sale.
Oh yeah.
A lot of people do that.
Yeah. See, we just need we need to clear this stuff up and get a
petition going to keep the monster truck. That's what we're actually here
for. There we
go.
Okay. Well, let's just get this moving. Yeah.
People mentioned that too in the comments.
Really?
Yeah. My post had like 350,000 views on it.
Holy smokes.
So this is how I think you need to get the ball rolling. You started it off with a post. Somebody mentioned a petition. Look into how to get a petition started and maybe address this at City Council. It would also be nice to see young faces at City Council.
Yes.
And I think especially, I'm not saying, she's going to wave her wand and grant you, but I think Linda Moore would be happy to listen as well. Anytime young people are wanting to get involved, I think we do have a good community where they'll help you too. Yeah. And I think Michael Seaver is going to be there to help you along the way and guide, you hopefully through this. And
And if you eventually have to move it, maybe you can just move it over to the whatever that business is.
The
across
cleaners.
street.
I don't know. I don't know.
They're not fans. She's like, I don't know.
They might have been my complainers too.
Well,
yeah, maybe.
Regardless of where it goes, I hope we still get to see it. Sorry you're going through this. I can imagine how angry you were. After 4 years, it's a little shocking to realize now that it's not okay.
Right,
so,
right.
Yeah, I think
Where do you post your showings when you do show off the monster truck?
Usually just on Facebook, or I'll go to like one of the Tri-State Lug Nut little pop-up things in like the mall parking lot or something.
Okay. So if our viewers want to find like a list or a shout out anytime you're going to show off the monster truck, where do they visit your Facebook?
Usually if I'm gonna go to it, because I don't usually know until the week of because my schedule's hectic, I'll repost it on my Facebook.
Okay.
And say I'll be there usually.
Your Facebook is Mackenzie Vallee?
Yeah.
Yep. Okay.
Yep.
Cool. Well, good luck in keeping your truck there on the corner of Main Street. I know a lot of people enjoy seeing it. Obviously, one person does not. Either way, I can't say, I don't know if there's a right and wrong here, but I think we can amend it to at least get this one passed, right?
Hopefully.
All right. Well, until then, thanks for joining us on
Coffee
Talk. Thank you, EFB. We always appreciate you.